So the news about the coronavirus, COVID-19, infects us more than the virus itself. And it's amplifying our fears. That's exactly what's happening. Now, it makes us not just worried than we need to be about contracting it, but also it makes us more susceptible to embracing all those fake claims and potentially the problematic and the hostile and the fearful attitude that we are developing towards those around us. And that's happening. Especially with the social distancing, what's happening right now, this attitude, it becomes our personality, and which has a long-term effect. It has a long-term damage, of course. And this attitude then reinforces our fears and makes the whole cycle of fear and threat bigger than what it is. Okay, let's face it properly. Now, our bias systems, which we view the world through, has control over us. You already know that. We may have many cognitive biases, and there is something called the availability bias, which means we are most likely to focus or pay attention to the events we immediately recall from the past, which is quite similar to what's happening right now. And then the non-stop media cycle supports this focus, this bias, to bring more of the relevant news and information to keep it moving. So you can now imagine or guess what it does to us, right? It's obvious that it puts us in a state of hyper vigilance, and now our perceptions are narrowed, and we take in information that helps the fear sustain itself. We take in information that helps the fear sustain itself, and we may start noticing more information regarding those fears. We read more about it, we hear more about it, and most importantly, our interpretations become more about it, which is obviously threatening and fear-mongering. So while this is happening, the emotions that we are experiencing, these emotions, they impair or they weaken our perceptions of the actual risk that lies in front of us. Hence, it paralyzes our ability to think clearly, to act clearly, and not knowing how to deal with situation. The body has kicked in its stress response. It's highly stressed. It doesn't know what to do. And in this kind of a mental state, in this kind of your physiological, your physical state, it's not appropriate to function that way, because we are going to make more mistakes. So we got to be really careful about, where we are actually putting our attention into. We have to be extremely careful with where we are going with our thoughts. Right now, this is very, very important period where we really need to keep our self-awareness in check and make sure we use the right filters to get in the right news that's coming into our psyche, that's coming into our consciousness, and making the right decisions based on looking at an expanded view of what's happening. We got to stay clear. This is the time.